All right, it's time to talk about Kamaru Usman versus Buckley. The fight night that just happened last night. I'm not gonna be talking about any other of the fights on this card because honestly, most of them were pretty boring. The only one that was kind of interesting to me was the up kick from Craig, and yeah, that was a interesting scenario. So in this main event, with Usman and Buckley, it seemed like Usman's striking has gotten very much a lot worse than it used to be. Maybe it's because of the 2 year gap and 2 year layoff, but it just seemed like Usman's striking just wasn't. It didn't look like they did much striking in his camp. It looked like most of his camp was probably just wrestling, which kind of makes sense in a way because he's got such bad knees that using the striking and like standing up constantly could be quite bad. But in the wrestling, obviously eases up the knees a bit, ease up on the legs. But it was just really like it just made me think about like other matchups for Usman and how like if he went to go up against someone like JDM, I don't think he would do very well with his striking because I honestly JDM has better striking than most of the welterweight division. But like I said, Usman's wrestling did impress me in this fight. I think Usman's wrestling's a lot better than a lot of the people in the high caliber of the welterweight division. I don't think he'll be able to take anyone down like JDM or below Muhammad, but I think somebody else in the lower, maybe like Shavkat, which is going to be surprising a lot of people. I think he honestly beats Shavkat. Someone like maybe Ian Gary as well. I think he would be able to take him down and win. But I don't think he's outstriking any of these people, especially now in this out of his prime. I think one thing that really surprised me is Buckley's terrible defensive grappling. It seemed like in the earlier rounds, 1 through 4, he was just letting Usman get him down. Because there's some really bad shots Usman was landing on him, and he was just honestly was laying on top of him and like keeping him down. And it seemed like there was a lot of moments where Buckley could have got up but just didn't want to. And then randomly in round 5, Buckley started realizing that he actually knew how to wrestle and grapple, so he just started stuffing them all. It just made no sense to me. Why wasn't he doing that for the first 4 rounds? He just in the 5th round he was stuffing them all. He had like 5 out of 5 takedowns that he defended. It was pretty crazy, you know. It just doesn't make sense how someone like Buckley can't defend it with his strong base, and he's stuffed some really good takedowns before in the UFC. It just didn't really make sense to me. Honestly, the fights to make after this are like, I think Usman should fight below Muhammad and maybe a co-main or a fight night main event. Because I know Usman's not going to be able to fight for the title anytime soon. I know there's going to be quite a wait because Islam is going to be fighting JDM for the title. And Shavkat's probably going to get the title shot after that because he's been waiting on one for a while. And for Buckley, it's kind of hard to say. I think maybe Leon Edwards would be a good fight to make. Obviously, Leon Edwards had those 2 fights with, no, 3 fights, but 2 recent fights with Kamaru Usman and ended up winning both of them. And then, yeah, that's pretty much only fight that I can see for Buckley right now. Maybe Sean Brady or somebody else, but it's hard to say, you know? But anyway, those are my thoughts on UFC Fight Night. Very disappointing card. Hopefully the next card will be better because I think Hill versus Roundtree's next, and that will be a very interesting fight to see. 2 powerhouse strikers going at it. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about the card or what you thought. I think, honestly, it was disappointing, like I said, but yeah.